Normal of me to start early. Not normal of me to start early. Yes, yes, not normal of me. For all of you watching, let's make sure to allow more people to tune in to the stream before we start doing beautiful, amazing, high quality, number one reviews. And also for a lot of you watching around the world, thank you everybody for tuning in on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. For a lot of you, if you see in the chat room, there's a way that you can get the membership this week. Yesterday, memberships were given out. Also, last week and this weekend, memberships were given out. So if you are watching, you never know. There could be a time. Woof! George Zaharov starting off the stream with a $20 super chat. And for a lot of you watching, we're doing 3 reviews today. 3 beautiful reviews for all of you watching around the world. You guys know what time it is. You know what time it is. Ribby Crew, you know what time it is. We're number 1 for all of you watching around the world, watching and rewatching these streams. I hope you've been enjoying all the streams that I've been giving you, all the reviews I've been giving you. And right here, right now, we have the man himself. Yes, the man himself, the owner, yes, the owner of the line, a great, yes, a great person. And for all of you don't know, yes, Zaharov Fragrances. We're going to do fragrance reviews this weekend for some of us men, but we have Mr. Zaharov in the chat room. And for him, I'm going to say this, for him, yes, first start of the stream, he is officially on the stream. And let's see what he says. Over here, $20 super chat, George Zaharov. All my best, all my best. Thank you so much, George. Huge appreciation to George. And for George, I'm going to do something amazing on this stream. I think something that he's probably never seen. And for a lot of you watching around the world, don't forget, we stream every single day, every single week, and we do reviews of whiskey. This is a whiskey channel that officially we put a good amount of effort into our cooking. Also, we've been doing reviews and a lot of sticks. This is my father, La Gran Oferta, La Gran Oferta. Yes, we're going to be doing this on the stream. We're going to do a review of the brand new 2025 Larceny, brand new 2025 Larceny. And also, I'm going to show you how to cook a good meal, an easy meal. And for a lot of you, George Zaharov, thank you so much. Huge appreciation to George Zaharov. If you guys don't see in the chat room, there is a part in the chat room that you can get the link to be able to get a fragrance, yes, from Zaharov.com. It should be at the beginning of the stream. There's a little link. I did pin it over there because officially, I do wear a lot of Zaharov fragrances. So for a lot of you, we will be doing this weekend. Boblo's Whiskey, good to see Boblo's Farm Kitty. Good to see Farm Kitty. Also good to see April. And George Zaharov, thank you so much. So today, we're going to be doing the official review of my father, La Gran Oferta. La Gran Oferta. Yes, we're going to do the first ever review of this on the channel. Now, I have had this before. Now, I also have had this one before. Here we go, Larceny, barrel proof. We're 3 minutes into the stream, and I'm going to say it right now. 3 minutes into the stream. I'm going to honestly say it. And here we go. Let's start by saying this. Currently, we haven't reviewed this one officially. I don't think I reviewed it. This is probably one of the best currently. I did post it up on Instagram. Yes. This is Jefferson's Reserve Cast Strength. We're going to talk about this one on the stream. But we have to say, for a lot of you, especially for George Zaharov, when we do reviews, we only tend to show the best products that you guys can get for all the ladies, for all the men, the best products that you can get. So, on the stream, yes, I will be reviewing this. My father, La Gran Oferta. This is a beautiful, beautiful stick. Let's pop this open. What a doozy. Look at this. This is beautiful. Real beautiful. We're going to put the light on so you guys can see how beautiful this is. It's a beautiful, beautiful label. Oh, man, what a beautiful label. Okay, I'm going to show you it. And here we go. For all of you that haven't hit that like button, hit that like button right now. We've been doing good reviews. Look at how beautiful this is, George Zaharoff. Look at the label on this, George. This is Zaharoff in the house. Look at how beautiful this is. Beautiful, beautiful stick. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this off. It's going to be our first review on this on the channel. So here we go. Let's take this off. Beautiful, classy, nice. Now, George Zaharoff does have his own line, so you could go to Zaharoff.com and check out his label. His label's amazing. His label's amazing. George Zaharoff, thank you so much. Huge appreciation for all the support you always give on here. But my father, yes, Mr. Garcia, he saw my post today, and I'm pretty happy that they've been really watching the streams and enjoying the posts that I've been posting on Instagram. Remember, I am not affiliated with this company at all. I just like to show you the best products on these streams. So again, let me repeat this again. I am not affiliated with this company at all. If it's a bad stick, I will tell you. I'm pretty transparent, but it's pretty nice. Okay, let me nose this out. Oof. Very nice. Okay, let me show you how to cut this for a lot of you that don't know how to cut this. Here we go. Look at how beautiful that is. Okay, nice cut. And for a lot of you watching, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, we stream every day. And you guys are amazing. Look at how beautiful this is. Woof. Beautiful. Okay, so first things first. I like to do the draw. The first draw I like to do at the beginning of the stream and see how, if I taste anything. Here we go. I currently can't taste much. It's a little bit sweet. It's a tad bit sweet, a little bit sweet, which is pretty good. I haven't had this in a long time, so here we go. Let's light this up. Here we go. Huge shout out to George Zaharoff. And for all of you watching, this is going to be the first review of my father, Gran Oferta. Gran Oferta. If you don't know what that means the best deal, the biggest deal possible. In Spanish, that's what it means. La Gran Oferta. There you go. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? I need to touch this up a little bit in the middle, so let's make sure to get it. And for a lot of you, if you haven't already subscribe. We're about 8 minutes in, just 8 minutes in. It's going to be a good stream. We're going to be reviewing the Larceny barrel proof. For all of you, save you money, if anything. Here we go. All right, for all of you watching, here we go. First pool. Here we go. Let's do this. Shout out to all of you in the chat room and for all my members. Thank you, all my members, for always getting the membership and renewing the membership. And for all of you that are new, don't forget to subscribe. We stream every single day. Every single day. Okay, here we go. Ooh, what can I say about this? Ooh, we're losing focus. What can I say about this? I'm gonna tell you right now, but it's a little bit in the. It's a little bit different than some of my father sticks that I've had. This is actually. It actually has almost like a sweet honey, or not even a sweet honey. It has almost like a maple syrup sweetness on here. I get a little bit of pepper on here. So far, the pool is really good. It's pretty opened. You saw how I cut it. I cut a straight cut, for all of you who want to know, straight cut. I was going to put a little bit of a pinch on here. And huge shout out to George Zaharoff. I hope he's having a great day today at the gym or whatever he's doing in the office. Here we go. Let's do this. Oh, really, really sweet. Really, really sweet. And it's heavy too. It's sweet and heavy. If I could say one thing about this currently, I kind of can tell that this one's going to give me a good amount of pepper. Currently, I'm going to say right now what I'm getting is a little bit of pepper, almost spiciness, a little bit of pepper spiciness, and I'm getting a little bit of almost like a sweetness, almost like a maple syrup. That would be the wrapper, almost like a maple syrup sweetness. And I'm going to say this over here, another super chance, 2 super chats currently. We're only at 10 minutes in. Jason Kane, thank you so much, Jason Kane. Jason Kane says, with a $10 super chat, Reba Crew, we're #1. Hit that like button, subscribe. Hit that like button, subscribe. Yes, for all of you that are new. I do know that we have a lot of people that rewatch these streams, and I really, really appreciate everybody that rewatches these streams. It's not easy to be streaming every day, but we do it because you guys, Jason Kane, George, who else? Adventures, April, Farm Kitty, Edgar Romeo, who that? A lot of other members, William, and all the other members, Bob Loves Whiskey in the chat room, all my other members that are here, right? I want to say this. We do this for all of you. We do this reviews for all of you. Jason Kane, shout out to Jason Kane. I'm going to say this, Jason Kane. Jason Kane likes these reviews. He likes to smoke stogies. He loves stogies, and he also likes whiskey. And I think most of you are subscribed. Most of you are subscribed for the whiskey content. But I'm adding a little bit more than usual. And lately, I've been just having a fun time enjoying and showing you guys, and all of you, I've been enjoying doing reviews and things that I could do by myself. These are things that I could do by myself. And for some of you, I will say for some of you, yes, you could officially buy a stogie, right? You could buy a stogie, you could buy a stick, and you can relax. The main thing is, when you do any of these stogies, or you even try any of these stogies, you have to make sure to just relax. Those are the main things, okay? Relax, calm down, take some time off your day, chill out, have a little drink. And this is what it is to have a stogie. I know many people don't think of it that way. They think you have to be working. You think you have to be farming, doing gardening with this in your mouth. It's not really the case. You can do whatever you want with the items you buy, but one of the main things is you have to calm down. You got to relax. And officially, that's what we're doing. We're relaxing. We're having just a good time. For all of you watching, we're going to officially do the Larceny review. We're going to do the Larceny review, so here we go. Let's start off doing both of the reviews, yes? Okay, let's start off doing both of the reviews. So, the Larceny barrel proof. Let's pop this open. Now, there's a big difference on both of these. I'm going to tell you the difference. One is good and one isn't. I'm just going to give you off the bat. I'm just going to tell you off the bat. Okay, I do not like Well, last time I had this one, I wasn't too much of a fan of this Larceny. Okay, you have to understand, whenever you go buying some of these recommendations, it doesn't mean that they're all going to be good. I told you this review was going to be great, but I also told you that I was going to be pretty transparent. This is Larceny. Yes, this is Larceny C924. Do you see how empty this is? This is empty, empty, empty. Why is it empty? Because it's amazing. I put that one up against one of the best whiskeys the last year, and it came out to be one of the best whiskeys of 2024. So for all of you watching, I will say it's a big difference compared to what I'm about to pour. This is a 2025, yes, A125, 2025 A125, and here we go. Let's pour this up. Shout out to Jason Cade. Shout out to George Zaharoff. Here we go. Okay, we're to pour enough. Let's pour enough. So here we go. 125, A125. Now, I'm going to say this off the bat just in case you guys are rushed and you have to be, you're working. Say you're working, you're watching this, and you have to be rushed. You don't want to wait till the end of the stream. I'm gonna review this. But I will say, last time I opened this, I drank it 2 times already. I want the air to really take over a little bit of those notes that I didn't like on here. And I didn't recommend anybody to buy this. Secondly, I usually recommend you guys to buy backup. I didn't recommend many of you to buy backup of this, and I'm going to tell you exactly why, and why I decided to do the stream today about this. Also, for all of you, you have to buy this. You got to buy backup of this. We talked about this cast strength 130 proof Jefferson. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We talked about that. So here we go. Let's make sure to do this. Really nice. Really nice. I'm getting a little bit of saltiness. A little bit of saltiness. I'm getting a little bit of spices. A little bit of saltiness. A little bit of spices. And also, you can tell my lips, it is still a little bit sweet, almost like maple syrup sweet. There's a little maple syrup sweetness on here that I really, really like. Is it going to extend to be something crazy, something amazing? We will see, but so far, the beginning of the stick, it's pretty good. But it does have a lot of spices. What kind of spices do you think I'm talking about? Well, I'm getting pepper on here. I'm also getting a little bit of saltiness on here. Earthiness. Again, just a little bit earthiness. And I'm going to also say, if you can tell by my lips, oof. If you can tell by my lips, oof. This is going to be a good one. If my lips are doing that, you know what that means. Here we go for all of you Ripper Crew. We're going to start cooking too. I'm going to show you how to cook an amazing meal. The barbecue's on, so don't forget about it. So let's start by doing this. Oof. I'm going to say, we're going to nose this out a little bit. I know how that smells like. I've smelled it before. I just personally, there's something about this one that I think has a little bit too much heat on it. And I don't want to put water on here. This one, to me, has a little bit too much heat. When I mean heat, let me explain to you the heat that I'm talking about. Okay, this is 125, all right? And this one over here is also 125. You're probably wondering, why does this not have heat? There's something about this bottle that I just say, oof. I'm just gonna say, there's something about this bottle that I'm not too fancy about. It's good, but it's nothing crazy compared to the last one that was released. Anyways, let's nose this out. Here we go, let's nose this out. Oof. Honestly, really, what I smell is a lot of ethanol, almost all that 125 proof, and I'm also smelling almost like a nutty profile. I'm also smelling an oak note on here that's a little bit too much oak. I'm getting a little bit of spice also on the nose, and that's about all I have. But one of the main things is the nutty note. Okay, the nutty note is one of the main things on this Larceny. So for all of you, here we go. Let's drink this up, and let's officially do the review. And then I'm going to go on and start cooking with you guys. And throughout the stream, I'm going to tell you how this has changed so far. The construction on here is really good. So far, my father, Stogies have been really excellent. I've been showing you all the best ones of the top rated, yes, top rated. So I'm going to make sure that you guys know we only show top rated stuff, and I try to make sure that everything I like, I try to show you. So here we go. Shout out to all of you. Larceny. This is Larceny 120, 125, A125. Here we go. That's too much. That's too much heat, man. That's too much heat. That's too much heat. I'm getting a ton of bacon spices. I'm also getting it's just overwhelming. A ton of cinnamon. I'm getting a little bit of almost like oof. I'm not too much of a fan of this one. Okay, it's not too complex. Cinnamon's through the roof, baking spices through the roof. I'm getting a little bit of sweetness on here. A little bit of sweetness. We could say maybe it's the oak note, a little bit sweet on that oak note, but man, it is very, very, very strong. I'm going to say it's one of the strongest Larcenys that you probably ever had, but it does remind me a lot of Jim Beam products. Now, for all of you that do not know Jim Beam, well, I don't know if I have a Jim Beam product out here. I do not, but the point of the matter is, we're going to go to this again. It's very, very, what's the word that I can use? It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, this. Now, I usually tell you not to put water, and I don't plan on putting water on here, but maybe water will help. I'm not going to put water. I'm not going to put any water. So here we go. Here it goes for the second dive into this. Let me give you the full review and give you more notes that I find. Oh, again, still the same thing is killing me. Cinnamon, baking spices. I'm also getting a little bit of brown sugar, but the brown sugar is nothing right now that I like. Baking spices popping through my tongue, through my cheeks. And not only that, I'm getting a little bit of nutty profile on here. What kind of nut, you're probably asking? What kind of nut are you probably finding? I'm not getting hazelnut. Hazelnut usually gives me a creamy, sweet, nutty note. If I get peanuts, the peanuts give me almost like a roasted kind of a note, and almost sometimes even a little bit of bitterness. I don't get any of that currently. I'm not gonna say anything horrible about this, but I'm going to say it does remind me of Jim Beam products. And if you know Jim Beam, they're very, very inexpensive. It's about $80 for the A125. Now, let me calm down with this one because we do have a Stogie on here. Yes, we got a stick on here, and I do have to cook. So, for all of you, let's try this out. Now that is good. That is really, really excellent. This Stogie, La Gran Oferta, my father. This is really nice. It's starting to get a little bit better on here. So far, I'm getting the same notes, and they're getting a little bit sweeter, just a tad bit sweeter. It's going really good with this actually. It's complementing this. Let's go again. Really nice Stogie, super nice Stogie. I want to say that's a heck of a Stogie, and it actually pairs up pretty good with this stick. So far on the Stogie, I'm getting a good amount of saltiness on here still. Saltiness on that wrapper. You can tell my lips are chapping. Also, black pepper. I'm getting just a little bit of black pepper. That's not really overwhelming. And I'm also getting Man, I'm getting an oily aspect to that wrapper that's really nice. I'm starting to get a little bit of something else, but I do know I'm starting to get both of these. The mix is giving me both nut and nut. I'm getting nut on both ends. I'm getting nut on that Larceny. I'm getting nut on this Stogie. Might not sound right. It might not sound right what I said, but just see what I mean. Okay, let me go back to this. Let's go back to this Larceny. Here we go. Let's go back to this Larceny. A125. Here we go. Let's drink this up. Ah, again, I'm still getting that as strong cinnamon. Uh, there's a cinnamon note that's taken over, and it's taken over way too hard. I'm getting a beautiful, almost like a sugary vibe on here that's making this a little bit more acceptable. But the baking spices and the cinnamon is one of the things that really take over. And you know what? Now I'm finally figuring out what kind of nut. It's not a hazelnut. It's not a peanut. It's not a Brazilian nut. It's not any of those nuts. It's a walnut. That's what I'm basically getting. Walnut. Now, if you don't know walnuts, walnuts are usually they're usually really nice, and they're a little bit sweet, and then they get a little bit bitter, depending on which walnut you get. But I'm getting like a little bit of walnut on here, and that to me is that's screaming to me, Jim Beam. And this is not Jim Beam. This is from Kentucky, yes, but this is Heaven Hill. And Heaven Hill, well, they do have a good lineup of some of the Elijah Craigs that are nutty. But this one over here, usually, when I find too much nut on some of these Larcenys, it better be good. I personally don't tell you, go out of a limb and go buy this. If you can buy this, buy it. Personally, if I had the option to skip this and I only had a $200 or $100 on my bankroll for the month, I probably personally would tell myself not to get this. But then again, we have a channel, so we have to get this right. I did get this because I thought officially it was going to be better or maybe even close to the last year's Larceny. So for any of you watching, this is the goat of all goats. This is the one that just came before this one, the C924. That is insane. I have about 4 bottles. I think I have 3 bottles of this. It's so good. Now on this one, I'm going to say this. On that one, yes, I did have 2 of them. So what I ended up doing was I popped this open, and we did talk about it, and I didn't officially do the review, but I had an idea that if I drink it the second time and I don't like this Larceny and it's too much cinnamon, I'm just gonna have to take back the backup that I had. And unfortunately, I usually don't take back anything. I don't return anything, but I had to return it. I had to return the backup that I had of this Larceny. It was just too strong, and I'm not going to say too strong as in, like some of the cigars that I tell you. We did AJ Fernandez, I believe, last week. That was a really strong Stogie, right? Really strong Stogie. It was mainly, the AJ Fernandez was mainly baking spices and pepper, and it was just a combination of too much spiciness. So I'm going to say this. I did take back my backup. This is the only bottle I'm going to ever get. I'm never going to buy another bottle, but if I ever find more of those, I might buy more of those if I ever find those. And again, the Jeffersons, we're going to talk about the Jeffersons throughout the stream. That one's a really good one. Here we go. Let's try this out. This is actually really good, though. A little bit of a mix of this, a little bit of cinnamon that gives me with this stick, which actually goes really well. Here we go. I'm just not going to say it goes really amazing. You understand what I mean? Again, the review on this one so far is what you thought. It's what you thought. Yes, it's what you thought. Rip it cool. You know what time it is? Number 1. It's exactly what you thought. It's good, but it's not as good as you might think. Let's drink this up. It's just way too strong. Let me add a little water. I'm going to add a little water on here. Let's add a little bit of water. Woo! That's way too much water. That's okay. We're going to add that water here. Let's see how this is. Let's have our Stogie. So far, really, really decent. Really, really nice Stogie. You guys saw the review yesterday. If you didn't see the review yesterday, it was my father. We used a different stick, which was a box press, a torpedo, and it was my father. Le Bijou, and it was a beautiful, beautiful review. It was a great, great stick, but it was very strong, so you could go rewatch that stream after this stream. For all of you watching, that was a review of yesterday's stream. My father, Le Bijou, and this one is my father, La Gran Oferta. The fact that this is a little bit bigger in size, it also does. It does affect a little bit of the pool. It does affect a little bit of the pool. Usually, the bigger ring gauge sticks can affect the pool of when you're doing a good, just relaxing meditation. It could bother you a little bit if it's a little bit thicker. For the ladies, I think they know what I'm talking about. Here we go. Still salty, still nice. I'm still getting almost like a maple syrup taste to it. I'm also getting a little bit of pepper on here that's really nice. And I'm getting that nuttiness, a little bit of nuttiness on here. It's almost as if this is giving me some almonds. You guys ever had almond milk? Okay, if you had almond milk before, let me say this. If you had almond milk, it gives you almost that creamy almond on here. I really like this a lot. I'm going to try both of these and see. I'm going to try the Larceny with a little bit of water, and we're going to do it with this. Here we go. Man, that's good. Here we go. Let's try it out with this. I got to start seasoning my chicken. Ooh. Now we're talking. We're talking now. Oof. When you buy this, you got to add a little bit of water. You do have to add water. It reduces the cinnamon. It reduces the cinnamon that I'm getting on that Larceny. It reduces the cinnamon, so you don't get a full impact of cinnamon. I'm also getting right now, just by putting just a little bit of water, I'm getting a little bit of honey. That's why you're hearing my lips champing. I'm getting a little bit of honey. I'm also getting just a tad bit more brown sugar than I did before, and which is good. It's going along with the stick. I'm still getting those cinnamon notes, but it's not overwhelming. And I'm going to also say, I'm going to go for another plunge. This is getting better. Here we go. Oh, that is a 360. That is a 360. Less cinnamon, just less cinnamon. It just tuned down a little bit. I'm also getting just a little bit of baking spices, nothing crazy. I am getting that brown sugar that I told you about that I'm getting at the beginning of the stream. But now it's completely enhanced, and now I'm getting almost like a honey brown sugar kind of a flavor, mixing in with that beautiful walnut that I told you that I was finding. I'm going to say, so far, if you do buy this, my recommendation, add water. Whenever I drink this, I'm going to have to add water because it's so freaking strong. I don't mean the proofing wise. I mean it's so strong in the cinnamon. If you want the cinnamon to tune down a little bit, you're going to have to put water on here. That's my recommendation, unless you really, really love cinnamon. Personally, I like cinnamon, but I don't like it that much. And it does give me a Jim Beam profile. When I put a little bit of water, it does kind of give me a little bit of a cheaper Jim Beam profile. So it depends if you want to go for this and try this, give it a shot and give it a buy. But personally, I would say, if you could skip this one, And by just this one, the C924, that is exactly what I would tell you to do. Here we go. We're going to start cooking. We're going to start cooking, and for all of you, you're going to see me cooking. We're going to cook on the grill. So here we go. Let's start. Let's take one more plunge in here. Oof. Whoa. Wow. It's really ramping up. It's really ramping up. Ooh. Oh, that's a lot of pepper. Woo. That's a lot of pepper. Here we go. That's a lot of pepper I'm getting. I'm starting to get in the middle. Oof. I don't know if I'm going to survive the stream. Here we go, Jason Kane, April Neal. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start to cook for all of you. So allow me to start to cook. For the meantime, what we're going to do is, this is what we're going to do for the meantime. We're going to make sure that the barbecue is set up. This is going to be a tutorial also of how to officially make sure that your barbecue's on. So let's start moving this just a little bit. Here we go. So let's start off by talking about this, okay? Real quick. Nothing crazy. Okay, so we have the temperature going a little bit lower. It's 200. All right, we're going to do some chicken today. So what you want to do is prepare your charcoals before you put them on. All right, prepare them before you put them on. Let's open the vent just a little bit. Boom, we're going to open the vent just a little bit. We're going to make sure that this temperature goes up to 350 at least. Okay, 350. So first thing we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open this up. Now, the reason why I'm opening this up is because we're officially going to be, yes, we are officially going to be opening up the bottom vent just a tad bit. So for all of you watching, there is a bottom vent down here that you will need to open up a little bit, which I'm going to try to do. There we go. We're going to open up a little bit. You're going to get a little bit of heat going on. And it is a little bit hot in here, about 200 degrees currently. But to do some chicken, you have to make sure that the temperature is a little bit higher. Try to reach for about 350 before you put them on the grill, and make sure to season your chicken accordingly. So for a lot of you watching, make sure to clean this up. I did clean it up beforehand. You're going to clean up the grates when they're hot. You're going to have some heat going, and you can clean it up. Usually, you're going to clean up most of the grate. And at the end of the day, we're going to keep this open around here. Let's keep it open like this. Yes. Let's keep it open like this so that we can get a little bit of air circulation, and it's going to create some of the heat action. Some of this charcoals will ignite again, which is good for our chicken. So let's do this. All right, while that's heating up, you can see some of the heat starting up. It's good. Let that heat up. Here we go. Let's back up a little bit, and we're gonna start to cook. Okay, for some of you that never seen me cook, here we go. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. I'm going to give you some simple steps that you need to do to your chicken before you officially put it on the grill. So for all of you, here we go. Here's a part of the stream that a lot of you have been wanting. Some of you have been wanting some recipes. Well, guess what? I'm about to give you some recipes. Don't move. We're about to give you them recipes. Okay, so now the part of the stream that you guys, most of you and you ladies want to get. Now for all of you, yes, yes, yes. We're officially going to be doing some chicken drums. I did some chicken drums for all of you recently, and they came out pretty good. So we're going to do this right on the stream. Now I am missing something. Let me see if I can get it. I am missing something. Okay, so forward, this is what you're going to need. Seasoning-wise, take a photo of this. Take a photo of this. Good. You got a photo? Good. Take a photo of this. Perfect. So now you have two. Now you have officially two of them, right? Okay, so for all of you, you have two of them. You also need olive oil. Take a photo of this. There you go. Take a photo. Okay, for all of you, chicken, chicken, chicken. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? I gotta say this, chicken is amazing, but you have to cook it, okay? You can't be that guy that doesn't cook your chicken. You gotta cook the chicken right. And if you don't cook it right, well, you're gonna poison yourself. This is one thing you need to understand. Chicken is something you don't play around with. Don't play around with chicken. Make sure to cook it thoroughly. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna season this. Before we season it, one thing we're gonna do is, we're gonna put some olive oil on this son of a gun. So we're gonna put some olive oil now. Let me get my thong. Let me get my thong. Still have this in my mouth, and so far, so good. So far, so good. Here we go. We're gonna start to put some olive oil on this. Start to put some olive oil on this. Here we go with some olive oil on this. Beautiful. Looks good, looks good. Let's start moving this around. Bob says he loves the chicken raw. I see you, Bob. He says the chicken looks so good raw. I hope none of you eating your chicken raw. He says it look real good. For all of you watching, it's a live stream. So what you want to do is make sure to move this around. Again, you want to kind of clean this. You want to clean your chickens. Make sure to clean with water, and if there's any feathers, try to take the feathers off. Not all the time they're going to have feathers, but try to take them off, right? So we're looking good, looking good. Drums looking good, but you do want to kind of rinse this. You want to rinse them, and you want to pat them down with a little bit of a paper towel. Paper towel, okay, paper towel, you want to rinse it. So we're going to start doing the seasoning. Here we go. First thing is first. Take a photo. Good. Here we go, first layer, first layer. Just a nice little layer, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy, okay? One layer. Now we're gonna put a layer of this. This usually gets into my nose and sometimes I sneeze. Hopefully it doesn't. Here go one layer. Poof! This, oof. Oof. I get to my nose sometimes. Poof. Once I sneeze, that's it. It's over. If I sneeze, my back is out. My back is out. I'll be on the floor. Oof. That's what happens when you turn into an old man. Anyways, let's flip it up. Gentlemen, have you ever seen an old man sneeze? When an old man sneezes, that's it. It's over. His whole life is stars and stripes. You don't want to sneeze when you're older. So for any of you that are watching out here, and you got a young buck next to you watching, he's probably saying, what does he mean? What does he mean? When an older folks sneeze, they fall on the floor. They got to hit that button, that 1-800-911. When you get older, it will happen. Okay, so for all of you, if any of you ever get old, be careful. Have you ever got back pains and you sneeze? Oof, it's over. It's over. All right, here we go. Put the layer. Bing bang. You don't want to put a lot of this. Okay, do not put a lot of this. One layer, poof. Poof. I need to get that out of my nose. I need to get that out of my nose. Oof. Oof. Now here we go. Oof. Oh, I gotta watch from this. Oof. Oh man. I'm one sneeze away from ending the stream on the floor. I remember when I was younger, I could sneeze all I wanted to, but not anymore. Here we go. We're gonna put this layer. I used to sneeze on purpose in college, in high school, in middle school. I remember in school I used to be a bad boy. I used to sneeze on purpose just to get the teacher to stop talking. Sometimes I just don't want to hear the teacher. Here we go. She would have to stop every second. Oof. That's a lot of spice in my nose. Okay. Now what you want to do is just move it all around. All right, move it all around. We got a dead bone here. Move it all around. All right. Main thing is to get the olive oil. That olive oil will stick. Okay, that olive oil will stick. So for all of you, there's a tutorial for some of you that don't know how to cook. All right, tutorial for some of you that know how to cook. I know there's a lot of doctors that don't know how to cook. Man, they don't know. All they have to do is Uber Eats. Sometimes Uber Eats is not good. All right, here we go. We're going to move this around. We're going to move some spots around. Somebody over here said, oh man, somebody's talking about the lizards. We got some areola lizards out here in Miami. Crazy, these areola lizards, man. Big areola lizards out here. Here we go. So that looks really, really good. And so far it's actually getting stronger. Okay, it's getting very, very strong. Very, very strong. It's getting a little bit stronger. So far, I'm not even halfway. La Oferta, my father, very nice. consistently is giving me the nice sweetness. I'm getting more of that almond that I told you I was finding. I'm getting more of that almond, and also the peppers are a little bit just in your face now. I still have the saltiness that I told you, and that's mainly because of the wrapper. The wrapper's giving me that saltiness. Very, very nice so far. Okay, now we're going to put this on the grill. Let's start putting this on the grill. Let's make sure to move this so it doesn't fall. Here we go. We got some heat on the grill. Beautiful heat on the grill. And here we go. Oof. Looking good, looking good. You see those flames? Now to calm down, now I have those flames going. Okay, I have those flames going. What you want to do is lock the vent, close the vent. Alright? Close the vent at the bottom. Now what you're gonna do is oof! There goes my chicken. I just completely destroyed the grill there. Holy Lord. Don't do that. I just completely destroyed the grill. Oof. What a massacre. Here we go. We got this here. Okay. Oof. Completely destroyed the grill. Okay, here we go. That was not in my plans. I was not in my plans on this stream. All right, let's put this over here. Boom. Nowhere was that in my plans to do that. Okay. We got this here. Now what you want to do is, here we go. What you want to do is, you see this going, looks good, right? What you want to do is pat it down a little bit. Make sure some of those chickens, there's going to be a tutorial for a lot of you. Hit that like button if you like this tutorial so far. Pat it down a little bit. Let's put that heat over here. Let's put the big pieces over here. Boom. Pat it down just a tad. All right. That way the chicken gets a little bit molded onto the grill. You're going to lose a little bit of seasoning. You're going to lose a little bit of seasoning, but here we go. It looks good. Looks real good. All right. There we go. Looks really good. All right, so main thing, when you're doing this, shout out to all of you watching around the world. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Okay, so one of the main things, I'm going to say this for all of you. One of the main things you want to do, you want to check your temp. You see the temperature there? There's going to be a temperature, and it's going to start creeping up. The reason why it's going to creep up is because, first off, you did put up some chicken in there. Now the chicken has a ton of fat. Okay, has a ton of fat. It's going to start dripping onto the charcoal, and it's going to create some sparks. What that does is going to create more heat. You're going to have more heat going inside, and now your barbecue is going to start smoking up. But don't you worry. As long as you close the vents in the bottom, they're usually vents in the bottom. They should close them as much as you can. Leave that open just a little bit. It will officially balance out in the temperature. So for all of you, let's make sure that the grill gets nice and balanced on the temperature. And so far, on the review on this, It's really good. This is not for a beginner. I'm going to say this again. This is not for a beginner. If you want to buy this and you go to the store and you think you are going to be good with this as a beginner, do not get this. If you are a beginner, this is not for a rookie or a newbie, okay? This is not for a rookie or a newbie. I'm going to say that off the rip. Also, Larceny, barrel proof. This is another one. It's not for a rookie. On the stream, we got to give a huge shout out to, so far, George Horoff and Jason Kane. Jason Kane, thank you so much, both of you. And for anybody that gives super chats on this stream, I usually give a huge shout out. If you have a membership, don't forget, use those members messages if you have one. I know a lot of people rewatch our streams. So for any of you, if you catch a stream, make sure to know you could use those members only messages on every live stream. Again, what I was saying was, not for a rookie. This Larceny is not for a rookie. I wouldn't recommend this Larceny barrel proof for any rookie out there. There's other Larcenys that are pretty good. But that one I can say I would not recommend it. Okay, we're going to let this heat up a little bit. While this heats up, we got to make sure that it doesn't get black, right? We want to char up our chicken. We want to char up our chicken a lot. But we don't want to overdo it, okay? We don't want to overdo it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go revisit this one more time, okay? Just going to revisit it one more time. Here we go. Revisit it one more time. Revisit it one more time. Here, let's open this up. Let's revisit it one more time. Here we go. If anybody ever says, if there's any kids that ever come into the show because your father been watching these streams, there's a lot of fathers out here that watch these streams. If you have your son coming into the show, I'm gonna have to ban their account forever. I don't want to inspire any of your sons or daughters to be walking into the show and saying that they could cook. So for a lot of you watching, I know many of you have sons and daughters. Don't inspire them to watch these streams. Next thing you know, they're going to be ordering on Amazon the barbecue, and you're going to see your credit card account being drained, and then next thing you know, you're going to be down like $200. And then your son or your daughter's going to surprise you. I learned how to cook. This is for you. I learned through the channel that you were watching. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to get to that point, okay? Do not ever get to that point that you're going to be watching this stream around your kids. Kids get inspired by the craziest things. And this is a crazy stream most of the time, an adult stream. So for all of you, I'm going to say that. Just be careful watching these streams around your kids. Anyways. Now that I said that, that's a good thing I just said that, right? Good thing. Let's make sure that this gets a little bit burnt up. We're going to let it get a little bit burnt up. If you guys haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. So far on the stream, we're at $30 right now. $30 in 50 minutes. $30 in 50 minutes. Here we go. Let's drink this up. I'm Might have to take off this band. It's a beautiful band, but we're going to have to take it off. Okay, my father, La Gran Oferta. Here we go. So salty, really nice. That is not a stogie for just anybody. Let's move this around. Looks good, looks good. You want to close this? Close the grill. Close the grill a little bit. All right, now the reason why we close it is because you want the internal temperature to also cook. All right, this is a tutorial for a lot of you. I know many of you don't know how to cook chicken, so you gotta make sure that the internal temperature of the chicken gets cooked. Remember, this has a bone, and what happens with the bone? Well, the bone literally has a lot of those pieces of meat that are really stuck inside. Also, you got a little bit of blood in there. You want to make sure that blood just officially gets out of that bone. And let's open this up. Looks good, looks good. Let's back up. Dang, that's a lot of smoke. That's a ton of smoke, baby. Still strong. Still strong and still going. Still strong and going. It was a huge surprise seeing George Zaharoff. George Zaharoff coming into the chat room. Usually I don't start at 6. He showed up, and it was a huge surprise. Huge surprise. Wasn't expecting him to show up, so here we go for all of you. Let's drink the rest of this Larceny. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to close it halfway. Okay? Close it halfway. Lucky number for today, for any of you, lucky number for today is number 2. Number 2. So for any of you that go to casinos, like our Soto in the chat room, the number is 2. 2 is the lucky number in my head. So if any of you need to play lottery, Fantasy 5, Powerball, maybe you play some machines in the casinos, which I don't do that. For any of you, number 2 is the lucky number for today. It's in my head. Okay, in my head. Now you see how it's starting to creep up? It's starting to go a little bit higher and higher. And that's something that you're going to have to, when you're cooking, you can't just walk away from this unless, you can walk away from it unless you put all the settings down. My setting was a little bit high. I had the bottom vent open. I also had the top vent mostly open, so you have a lot of airflow going through. That allows some of that charcoal to ignite a little bit faster and to get that heat higher and higher. Usually chicken, you want to kind of stay at about 350. About 350 is good. If it goes to 400, even better, but you want to put it away from the charcoal. You don't want, well, personally, you don't want a dry chicken. You want it to be juicy. So to make it juicy, all you have to do is do this. Watch this. You already saw what I did, right? Okay, you saw what I did? Good. All right. So now I'm gonna do the final stages. Let's do the final stages of this chicken. Make sure, ooh, some of this is still needs a little bit of loving. A little bit of loving. You see this? A little bit of loving. So we're going to move. Ooh. That is good. Put that on the outside. That is good. That is popping. Oh. That is beautiful. Let's pop that over there. So now I'm officially putting and creeping them a little bit further away. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look at God dang mighty old fan. Mighty old fan. All right, let's need some loving. Let's put this over here. Need some loving. That other piece of chicken needs some loving. Let's make sure some of these other chickens get a little bit of loving. They all need some loving. All these pieces need loving. Ooh, this one needs a lot of loving. All right. Gonna make sure to put this a little bit closer to the heat. Most of the heat is over here in the middle. So what I'm going to do is let's start moving some of this stuff. Okay. Ooh. Real nice. Real nice. I'll put this over here. There we go. Toss this up in here. Ooh, the bone just stuck out. Ooh. It looks good. All right. We're going to move this. Ooh. We're going to move this. Move this chicken thing. We're going to move that chicken thing. Okay, so far, so good. All right, we moved some pieces on the outer edge. And I'm going to start to roll them and put them over here. For all of you that are watching, hit that like button. Hit that like button. So far, so good. So far, so good. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to have to close this. And let's back up a little bit so you guys can see what we're doing. Boom, bing, bing, bang. Okay, let me say this. I'm doing this so far. I've been doing this for 60 minutes, I think. It's getting stronger and stronger. This is probably, I think this is stronger than yesterday's. We had a box press yesterday, my father, and I'm going to say this. So far, this one's a little bit creeping up on me. It's getting a little bit stronger and stronger and stronger. I still got that saltiness, almost that salty sweetness on the wrapper that I can taste. Really nice. But I'm going to say so far, right now, almonds, pepper, it's a little bit earthy still, And the main thing, almonds, peppers, and the biggest spice is tuning up a little bit earthy in the saltiness. Okay, and that's what I'm getting currently, and I have this in my mouth currently for all of you watching. I don't recommend any of you to walk around with this in your mouth because the tip will get nice and wet. When it gets wet, it could ruin the whole cap. Okay, it could ruin the whole cap. So for some of you that are new, don't think it's so cool to be walking around with this in your mouth. It could ruin the whole cap. It does change the flavors of your stogie and your stick if it's very, very wet. You get almost a tannic taste sometimes if you get it super, super wet. Okay, I want to make sure you guys know this. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to leave it on here for a little bit, and we're going to do the review. We're going to do the full review on the Jeffersons again. I want to try this once again. Want to try this beautiful thing once again. It's so freaking good. You have no idea how good this is. This is really, really exceptional. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that right now. But before we do that right now, I have to make sure this is good to go. And I think it's getting good to go so far. Temperature is getting up there. Florida Panthers lost yesterday, if any of you saw. Sad day, right? Sad day, but I'm having a feeling they're going to come back. Point of the matter is Washington Capitals are playing today against the Hurricanes, right? Carolina Hurricanes. That's a match to watch. I personally think the Capitals could lose that series, but if the Washington Capitals in the NHL win that series, they might win it all. They might win it all. Those are two teams I'm looking forward to. Florida Panthers and the Washington Capitals. Now, if you think I think the Dallas Stars are going to win it, they're not. I don't think they're going to win it. If anything, I think the loss, if it's anything close to, the Florida Panthers or the Washington Capitals, I think in the finals, the Stanley Cup, it's either the Dallas Stars up against the Florida. What is it called? Florida Panthers. I personally think it's going to be the Florida Panthers against the Dallas Stars. Florida Panthers up against the Las Vegas Knights. And if the Florida Panthers don't make it, I personally think it's going to be Washington Capitals up against the Oilers, or Washington Capitals. Not Florida, or Washington Capitals against Dallas Stars. There you go. There's your prediction. I give you a little bit of predictions, right? But I still think the Florida Panthers have a chance, really big chance. Let's open this up. This is a cooking tutorial for a lot of you. Okay. Here we go. Let's open this puppy up. Okay, now we're good. So now what you're going to do is, this is simple. Now we're good. We rolled these on the side already. Look at this. Oof. Okay, we're going to roll this over here. So I want to make a whole line. Over here. Is this one good? Yes, it is. Make a whole line. Let's make a whole line here. Is this one good yet? Nope, it's not good yet. Let's flip this. Not good yet. This one should be good. Yeah, that one's good. Some of these over here. Boom. This is mainly where the heat is. The heat is mainly around here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the vent just a tad. I'm going to open the vent. Oof. Let's open that vent just a tad. And now it's when we're going to start placing our chicken where we need to. These are the places that I want to place my chicken. Let's put the chicken over here. Boom. 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 And boom. There we go. Looks good, ladies. Looks good. Really good, ladies. Looks really, really good. There you go. Well, ladies, it looks really good. So I'm putting them around. They're going to be around. These are mainly the ones that are really getting really cooked. You can see some of these are wider. Wider doesn't mean that they're not cooked. It just means that I want to give it some I want to give it some. I want to give it some char. You see the beautiful char I'm giving it? I want to give it some char. So you're probably asking, what kind of char? You see how it's bubbling? You see how it's bubbling? Okay, so once you see the skin starting to bubble, that's when you know you're doing something right. These are the main ones that need a little bit of affection. They need a little bit of loving. And these are the ones that I'm focused on. These on the outside are doing pretty good, and they should be good to go. But I do want to make sure that you guys know what we're doing. All right, so now we have that. Let's close this up. Let's close it up. This looks good. And what I'm going to do is, this is officially just a little bit closed. Good. Gonna move this over here. Boom. Everything's looking good. We're at 74 minutes. 74 minutes. How many minutes have we done with the chicken? I have no idea. But I do know that I like to focus my time on just looking at the chicken. Still going. Really good. Still going now. Do I recommend this? Do I recommend this Stogie for any of you? This is only for a real man. I'm going to say, if you're a real bold man, you get this. Only for a real bold man. For the ladies, I would recommend for the ladies some other kind of stick from my father. There's a lot of other stick for the ladies, but this one is very, very bold, very bold. And you need a full meal. I had 2 meals today. I had 1 meal in the morning, and I had another one in the afternoon. You need a full meal when you have this. Now, I'm not trying to say the ladies can't handle this, but I do prefer some of the ladies not to buy this because this might be too much of a stick for some of you, especially the ladies that don't eat. Okay, especially the ladies that do not eat. I'm starting to get a tad bit of, just a little bit, okay? Starting to get a tad bit of chocolate. A little bit of chocolate I'm starting to get, okay? Just a little bit of chocolate I'm starting to get. Nothing crazy, just a little bit. All right, just a little bit of chocolate. Is that making it better? As a matter of fact, it is. It's actually making it better on this stick. Now, my father, yes, most of their blends either have coffee. Okay, they either have coffee. Oof! Oof! We just got a red super chat. Red super chat. Shout outs to Arisoto has officially thrown down the red super chat in the chat room. Here we go. Before I even read that, let me put this down. Let me not put it in my mouth. Over here, Ira Soto with $100 super chat on this stream. Here we go. She says, Dallas Stars, shout out to my sisters and April and wifey, Farm Kitty, Lizamo. And she says, take a tequila shot, Reaper. Damn it. That's something I didn't want to take. Man, you know what I'm going to do? I'll be doing that tequila shot because she did send that $100. So for a lot of you, don't do tequila with this. It's a bad combo. I just came out. Don't do tequila with this, okay? If any of you do tequila, it's game over. Don't do tequila, but I will be doing it. She says she wants tequila shot, so we're gonna do a tequila shot. So for all of you, let's get a tequila shot with $100 super chat from Iris Soto. Here we go from Iris Soto. $100 super chat. Dallas Stars, she says, going to go all the way. I really hope so. Dallas Stars and the Florida Panthers, that would be insane. Bing bang. Okay, so for all of you, I barely have any G4 Reposado. I have a backup. I do have a backup. This is my favorite G4. It's so good. It's so good. So for Arisoto, there you go. If you ever find this is my favorite tequila. This is my favorite tequila. So for all of you, we're going to do this. Arisoto, here we go with a $100 super chat. Here we go. G4 Reposado. G4 Reposado. Let's pop it open and let's have a shot. Shout out to Arisoto. I actually want to see how this tastes like. I want to see how this tastes like with my father, Stogie. So here we go. I'm going to see how it tastes like. Arisoto, here you go. This one's for you. This one's for you. I see you, Arisoto. Here we go. This is for you. Let's do this. Here we go. Cheers, cheers. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here we go. Cheers, cheers. Let's do this. Ooh. Ooh, that's good. Here we go. Goner. There's a shot. There's a shot for all of you. And for Miss Iris, Miss Iris. Ooh, for Miss Iris. My hands are shaking. Ooh, man. This is really good. With that tequila is really good. It brings out the chocolate. I'm getting more chocolate on here. I'm getting like milk chocolate. Wow, that tequila just brings out the milk chocolate. A little milk chocolate, a little bit of milk chocolate, a little bit of almonds, milk chocolate, almonds, and oof. And still, we got a little bit of strong pepper on here. Strong pepper. I gotta fix this over here. Here we go. Looks good. You want to try to take one puff before you do anything. Here we go. Whoa, that tequila shot was really good with this. Matter of fact, we might do a stream. We might do a stream with tequila and whiskey and see which one wins. The pairing battle. I think I'm going to do that probably Friday. Probably Friday. I'm going to do it. We're going to see if we do it Friday or we do it or we do it Saturday. ASMR stream, yes. ASMR stream, yes. But so far, so good. And for all of you watching, I'm going to say this. I hope you guys are really, really enjoying the stream. And here we go. We're going to start moving this chicken. I think the chicken has enough. It has enough time to be there, yes? Here you go, Arisoto. Let's open that chicken up. Let's open that chicken up, baby. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Let's turn the oof. Oh man, that's a broken bone. I'm going to open up the vent all the way. I'm going to open up the vent all the way to get a little bit of a... Here we go. Oof. We just had the G4. All right, the chicken should be officially done, but I do want to make sure to get something here. And also, so the band is beautiful. I don't recommend all of you to get this Stogie, this stick. I think for a man that knows you like strong sticks, it's pretty strong compared to the last one I had. Yesterday was a strong stick too, but I will say, if you are new, do not buy this one. It is more for enthusiasts. And we're gonna pair this up with the Jeffersons. I am getting more of that chocolate, which is really, really nice. So I want to pair this up with the Jeffersons so far. We had this on the stream. We had this. And now we're going to pair it up with the Jeffersons. Here we go. Man, this is so good, yes? If some of you haven't bought it, I know Jason Kane that sent Super Chat today. He did buy a backup of this. I do recommend any of you that send the big Super Chats, trying to get yourself a backup of that if you do find it. That is the cast strength, 130 proof. Here we go. Let's see how it tastes with this. That is ridiculous. It doesn't even taste like it's 130. It tastes like it's 120. It tastes like 120. It doesn't taste like 130 proof. And the other cool thing is that this should be a $200 bottle, but it's actually not. It's actually under $100, under $100. That's the first time I've ever seen them do that. Usually their special edition releases are $300, $400. and the $200 presidential ones, which are really, really good. But I'm going to say so far, that might be the best thing the Jeffersons has ever done. Now, is the Jeffersons better than this Larceny? I will say maybe it is, and maybe it's not in a certain way. This Larceny has grapes. It has a almost jammy grape. Last I remember, oak is very nice, caramel through the roof. And on this one, I get basically, if you like cherry Coke and vanilla Coke, it's a mix of cherry Coke and vanilla Coke basically in a bottle. A little bit of oak, and it's very, very cherry and vanilla forward. I do recommend that for anybody that is new or an enthusiast. It's really, really, really good. Now, I'm going to say this. Did you see how the barbecue is starting to steam up? The reason why it's steaming up is because I opened up the vent. When you open up the vent, you're going to let a little bit of heat in there. Now, why am I doing that? Is because I want most of these pieces of chicken to get charred up. I want it to get charred up. The perfect thing on the barbecue that you can do inside an oven is you can char up your chicken. You can char up your meat. You can char up everything. One thing you don't want to do is char up your pork unless it's pork steaks and stuff like that. Also, there's a couple things you don't want to char up. Vegetables is really good to char up, especially if you're doing a green. What is it called? What are they called? Green chili peppers. Oof, those things are ridiculous. Green chili peppers. Oh man, what the hell was that? Green chili peppers. Anyways, I think we should go to the barbecue because it's starting to steam up. Before I do that. So, final review, is this a good one? I'm going to say this isn't fall to be one of the top rated out there. My father, this like what's it called? I'm going to show you. La Gran Oferta. La Gran Oferta. That's the name of this one. It doesn't fall into the top rating of my own top rating, right? And in the magazines. I don't think it falls into the top rating. But it's still really, really good. If you want a strong stick with almonds, with pepper, right? With a little bit of chocolate. I'm getting a lot of milk chocolate on almost the middle to the end, and pepper throughout the stick. I would recommend you to get this. One thing that does stand out to me is the beginning of this stick was maple syrup, kind of a sweet, almost sugary vibe at the beginning of this stick, and then later on the half of the Stogie, you have a little bit of salty, oily wrapper. I'm going to say it's not my lips. It's not my lips. It is the wrapper that is a little bit oily and a little bit salty. You can tell my lips are a little bit chapping. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't, for the ladies, we have a lot of ladies in the chat room. So $400 super chat from Myra Soto. Huge appreciation. Here we go. Cooking tutorial, and also whiskey and Stogie tutorial, right? How to light it up. Okay, here we go. We gotta go to the grill. We can't let that overchar. And if it overchars, that's fine, but I don't want it to overchar. So I don't want it to overchar. So let's go over here. Let's go over here. Oof. Let's see how it's looking. Real good. Man. Real nice. Let's move this. Oof. Dripping. Oof. Oof. Look at that. Beautiful. Oof. Oof. I want to put this on here for just a little bit. There's some pieces like this one. You see this? I want it to get a little bit more charred. So we're gonna keep this over here. We're gonna stack these. Those are pretty good. Let's stack these up over here. Let's stack these up over here and officially, there we go. This is gonna be the final. And the sun is going down. Holy Lord, the sun. Sunset is crazy. You guys are going to see the sunset with me. Here we go for all the ladies. We got a good amount of ladies. Also, we got a good amount of men in the chat room. Good to see most of the men. Here we go. Sun is going down. Boom. What I'm going to do is also just a little hot tip. I'm going to leave that open. Whew. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there so it chars up. Also, some of the juices are going to start to come up. There's a little bit of blood in some of those pieces of chicken, which again, it's going to go away as soon as that heat starts hitting. And you can tell that I moved a lot of them to the right side. I'm putting them over the charcoal because I want them to cook up and char up. If I don't want them to cook up and char up, I could put them away and I could cook them like that, little by little. I could put the barbecue on the other side and the barbecue sauce, but we're not putting no barbecue sauce on here. All right, no barbecue sauce. So for all of you that learning how to cook, there we go. No barbecue sauce on this one. I'm going to put it after. And also, I'm going to have a special hot and spicy sauce that I think I showed you guys before, which is really good. Point of matter is, now they have you guys on the sunset. Now they have you on the sunset. So, find a review on this. This is Jefferson's Reserve Cast Strength. It's just really, really the ball that you should get. You should always get more than 3 of these or 2 of these. If you have 2, that's good enough. Really, really good. Let me drink it. Let me drink it up. Here we go. Let's try it out. I think it's really, really excellent. It almost gives you the pop of like a cherry Coke or a vanilla Coke. It almost gives you that pop. And here we go. Let's drink this up. A little bit chocolate. I'm going to have to take off the band because the band is going to start burning. Review on this one so far. Really excellent. Milky chocolate I'm getting. Milky chocolate and almost like almond, silk almond milk. Almost silk almond milk. That's what I'm almost getting. Really nice. Now, I'm kind of worried to take this off and some of the wrapper comes on. But either way, we're going to have to do that because we don't want the band to burn onto the wrapper, okay? Here we go. So far this stream, we're at about $140. Biggest stream this month in the last couple of days was, I believe, $500 on one stream. Was insane. Yesterday was a huge shout out to the ladies that raised about 50 some dollars on the stream yesterday. Shout out to all of them. And over here, I'm going to say this. My hands are too big for this. Hands are too big for this. I'm gonna have to pop this off. Let's pop this off. Here we go. Let's see if I find more of that milkiness. I feel like I'm getting Parkinson's. My hand is shaking. Look at that. Now, I did have some coffee before this. I had a new coffee. That if any of you come to Miami, there's a place called La Carreta. La Carreta is where all the Cubans go to. all type of Cubans all over the place. They come to La Carreta. I ended up getting coffee today. First time that I have bought that coffee. It's ground coffee that they sell at the stores. You can buy it if you come to Miami, or I think Florida. I think Florida has it. It's buy one, get one free. I ended up buying it today. And so far, it does taste like the restaurant. And personally, I'm going to say, the restaurant's really good. If it's ever your first time coming to Miami, if you guys ever go to come to Miami, always go to La Carreta. If you go to La Carreta, you will officially be able to learn what it is to have some Cuban cuisine. Yes, Cuban cuisine and Cuban coffee. They have really good Cuban coffee. I'm going to say I do pretty good at Cuban coffee, but I'm not Cuban. But I do pretty good at Cuban coffee. Main thing is sugar. You gotta mix up the sugar, and you just gotta brew your coffee. That's usually what you gotta do, and it's very strong, very strong. So if any of you come to Miami, just know that there's two places. I think it's called Latin America. One place, other place is La Carreta. La Carreta. Here we go. Let's do this over here. Ooh, this is real chocolate now. But the pepper's actually, it's holding its own throughout the whole stream. Throughout the whole stream, it's really holding its own. Let's drink this up with the Jeffersons. Ooh, that Jefferson's killer. Let's see the chicken. Let's see the chicken. The chicken should be, somebody in the camera says, looking good. Most of the food usually looks good when I do it, yes. Let's see the chicken. Let's see a chicken. We're looking good. We're looking good. I think it should officially be good. Let's see the tan. Oof. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Just juicy and nice. Remember, you don't want it dry. If you get it dry, you don't know how to cook. If you get it dry, you just don't. Look at that. Look at good, man. Okay, this should be already done. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move some of these over here. Should be done. We're gonna move some of these over here. Now the main thing, what I'm gonna do is with these. Oh man, look good. Looks really good. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to stack them. Looks good. I'm going to stack them a little bit. Let me put it over here. I'm going to stack them over here like this. The reason why I'm going to stack them is because chicken is chicken. Okay, you don't want to poison yourself. It's already good to go. But just in case, I want to make sure that all the internal temperatures of all these chickens should be good. Now that means, remember, they're bone. Oof, real hot. They're bone. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using hot sauce with this after I'm ready to eat. But I'm just going to keep them on here for just about 4 or 3 minutes so that some of this internal temperature gets perfectly how I want it. I close it up real quick. We're just going to keep it for about 3 minutes, and that should be it. The temperature should stay below. Once I see this goes to 300, that's it. I'm just going to take it off. Today, officially, I cut myself earlier, doing some of the barbecue stuff for some of you watching. Understand you're going to be doing some things. You're going to probably scratch yourself. It's okay. Understand that it happens, but do always use a glove. Because if you don't use a glove, just like I burned myself, I think on this hand. I think I burned myself on this hand somewhere. It happens. It happens. It goes away. I heal pretty quickly. Again, we're going to do this 3 minutes, and then we're going to take those things off. And for a lot of you, if you haven't seen those private streams, make sure to tune into those private streams. Most likely this weekend we will do a private stream for a lot of the men that want to know a great pairing. We have a ton of fragrances to show you. We have expensive fragrances. My collection of fragrances is ridiculous. So I'm going to tell you, we're going to put some fragrances on the stream this weekend for some of you men. Fragrances that will go with your Stogie. Okay, we're talking about $300 fragrances, $200 fragrances. No cheap fragrances I will be showing this weekend. Only expensive fragrances. So for all of you, if you want to tune into that one, it should be either Saturday or Sunday, depending on what time or how good the weather is. It will be officially this weekend. What will pair well with, for any man out there, especially if you're going to the office, if you're working in the office, if you're a lawyer, a doctor, and you just like Stogie's ride, but you want to smell good. There's certain fragrances that you don't wear. Just because you have Creed Aventus, it doesn't mean it's going to go with your Stogie. We're going to talk about it this weekend, and I'm going to be showing you probably $2,000 worth. I'll show you $2,000 worth of fragrances so that you guys have an idea of what could go, what doesn't go, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that yes, women love these streams because they can buy it for their husbands, they can buy it for themselves. There's women out there that actually like wearing men's fragrances, and I never understood that, but I think there's a lot of women that do that. There's a women that wear a lot of Creed fragrances that are for men. One of the most popular fragrances that women like to wear is, which is mainly for men. It's called Dolce & Gabbana Light and Blue. That's something that a lot of women like to wear, and mainly for men and women, unisex. But that's not what I'm going to show you. So here we go. We'll start taking this off. Let's start taking this off. And here we go. First thing you're going to do is you just close the bottle vent. I should have it closed. Yes, it's closed. Now all you're going to do is close this up. Make sure the vent over here is all completely closed. For any of you that don't know how to cook, make sure it's completely closed. There we go, completely closed. Make sure it's on, because sometimes if you just put it on, there's a little crack. It'll stay on. It's off. Good. And here we go. Let me show you the final. And here we go. Bing bong. Look at this. Looks good. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure you guys see it because I think you guys can see it. Okay, let's put this over here. Oof. Oof. Ladies and gentlemen, this is official. For some of you that don't know how to cook, there you go. And for all of you, I'm going to say this is juicy inside. Outside is nice, beautiful. I'm going to say I cannot wait to eat this. I'm going to say for all of you, make sure if you're using my my recipe. You don't have to give me a nudge. You could just say you learned it yourself, right? For some of you, the recipe, you already saw the recipe that I gave you. If you didn't see the recipe, well, you could go rewind and watch and see that doing a recipe like this will be officially something you're probably going to use forever. The recipe that I just showed you, you could use also inside in the oven. If you don't have a grill, you could also use the same recipe. It's the same recipe that I just showed. You could use the same recipe inside the house. As long as you have an oven, right? Ooh, it's hot. Oof. Oof, looks good. Now I do want to have a beer with this, but I don't want to mix. For some of you, if you do end up mixing, you mix whiskey with beer, yes, it could be bad for you. I don't recommend any of you to mix. So if you're drinking whiskey, stick with whiskey for the rest of the night. If you want to pair it up with some wine, after, oof, I would personally recommend you to do beer instead of wine because the wine has a little bit of a sugar content. It could give you a hangover for some of you that aren't used to drinking any whiskey. Remember, when you're drinking whiskey, you usually don't get hangovers at all unless you drink almost all the bottles, which that's not the point of drinking, right? You don't drink all the bottle. That's why, for all of you watching, I never get a hangover, especially some people ask all the time in the comments, how does this man drink so much? The thing is, I don't drink a lot. Well, I do, but problem is, I do add some food onto it. If you don't add food to it, it's gonna give you a hangover. Not only that, remember we drink small pours on Instagram and all social media accounts. Usually, the thing that they do is they put a large amount of whiskey. It's kind of not the point of enjoying whiskey. When you were drinking whiskey, you want to kind of pour it over here, small amounts, just like wine. Wine, if you have a glass of wine, you don't want to pour all the way to the top. You pour it halfway, and you can go back. Have your seconds. That's how it is with wine. That's also how it is with whiskey. When it comes with tequila, same thing goes with tequila. If you're drinking tequila, what you're going to do is pour yourself a good 1 ounce. After that, you should be good. So for all of you watching on this stream, we did the review. We did the review of my father, La Oferta. Let me see if I can put the there you go. There's the band on the stream. We did my father, La Oferta, which is it's a great stick. I do recommend a lot of you that are enthusiasts only. Rookies, I don't recommend this. Rookies, I do not recommend this. For any of you that are new, I don't recommend this. You've seen the stream. We had the owner come out here, George Zaharoff, the owner of the perfume brand, come out here. Huge shout out to George Zaharoff. We also had Jason Caden added to the stream, and the big super chatters that have been sending on this month. Thank you so much. Huge shout outs to all of you. Huge shout outs to Arizona. The sun's starting to go down. Beautiful. I kind of want to do, the chicken's hot. I kind of want to drink a little bit of this. I want to drink a little bit of this. This is 125, 125.1. Let's finish this off a little bit, just a tad. I'm not going to put a lot. I have a little bit left. Let's see. Is this the best whiskey of the stream? That's the best whiskey. The best whiskey of Larceny that they have ever released in a long time. That is remarkable. Real good. We're going to pop open another bottle probably tomorrow or the next day. And this, for all of you watching, this should last you. It should last you months. Okay, this shouldn't be gone in a day. Shouldn't be gone in a day. It should last you months. For all of you watching, we're going to end the stream right now. For all of you, okay, for all of you, don't forget to hit that like button. Oof, look at me, I'm burnt. Don't forget to Reaper Crew. You know what time it is. We're number one. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And for all of you watching around the world, a lot of people watching around the world. People from Chile, New Zealand. I saw earlier somebody from Spain in the chat room. Shout out to Spain. Shout out to Spain. Did you know that for some of you, the lower end parts of Cuba, there's people from Spain that ended up going to Cuba. If some of you didn't know, so shout out to Spain, shout out to all the Cuban people, because I'm gonna say there's a colder place in Cuba called Marianda or something like that. It's like the lower. It's almost like the hood, right? And there was a guy that told me. I used to work with a Cuban. And the worst thing that my Cuban friend told me was they had to eat his pet. That was the worst thing he's ever told me, and that was a long time ago. That was almost 2 decades ago. They had to eat his pet. He had a pet. I think it was a pet pig or something. I forgot what it was called. Point of matter is, I do know that I never asked him where he lived in Cuba, because men don't really care. But I do know that he lived in the lower ends of Cuba. Let's not even talk about the regular part of Cuba. He lived in the lower end of Cuba, which was literally the buildings were falling apart and the townhouses and the homes were falling apart. He used to live there. He came to Miami. It was about 2 decades ago, so it was almost 20 years ago. Maybe not even 20 years ago, give or take, maybe 15, 17 years ago, right? And I won't forget that he told me that his family had to eat the pet. I think it was a pet pig, and I won't ever forget. So somebody was here from Spain. I won't ever forget that he told me there was people that came from Spain from a boat, right? Because there was a war. Apparently, there's a war. I forgot what kind of war it was. There was a war over there in somewhere where let's just say. Let's just get to the conclusion, because I don't know the whole story. I don't like to ask. A lot of people went to Cuba, and a lot of them were from Spain. And what ended up happening, most of the people there in Cuba, you see the darker skin. My friend is a little bit darker skin, but super, like I'm talking about like super dark. And I remember he told me, he goes, yeah, some of his neighbors came from Spain, like literally in a boat, literally handcuffed in a boat. I thought it was the most craziest story, almost like, we're not going to even say slaves, because I don't even think he used the word slaves, but it was kind of like that. And it was in the revolution of when Castro was there. And I don't think I'll ever forget that story. It was a crazy story. There's a lot of people that still live there that are probably like 70, 80 years old. So for a lot of you watching, I'm going to say this. For anybody watching from Spain, from earlier, I really appreciate all of you. That really tuned in, and for the people over there in Chile that tune in, Brazil that tune in, the people from England, the people from Canada also. Not only the people from Canada, the people over there in Hawaii, most of the USA. We get a huge amount of people from the USA. What else? I think there was somebody over here from Italy recently that came in the chat room. Shout out to Italy. Shout out to Germany, the people from Germany. People from, I don't know how people from China are watching our streams, but there's people from South Korea. I do know that I like to sometimes say and joke around. People from North Korea in the bathrooms are watching the streams. I do know people from India be watching sometimes, and it's crazy because in India they can't eat meat. They can eat chicken, but they don't eat meat. But I'm just gonna say it's for all of you. I really appreciate everybody that tunes in. People rewatch these streams, and it's insane. For all of you watching, I see the chat room. You guys are awesome. I see the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna end the stream now. Huge super chance. Huge super chance today. We'll have to give it to our Soto. Huge red super chat from our Soto. Edgar Romeo's in the chat room. Good to see Edgar Romeo. And for all of you watching, let's give it to shout outs to the USA. Yes. Shout outs to the U.S. Marines. Well, let me start with the law enforcement, right? Let's start with the law enforcement, the firemen, all the essential workers out here. Shout out to law enforcement, firefighters, essential workers, EMTs, all the nurses, and everybody. And also, shout out to the Marines, U.S. Army, U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force, and the U.S. Space Force, battling the aliens over there in the moon. Did I say shout out to the Navy? Shout out to the U.S. Navy. I think I did. Shout out to all of you. For all of you watching today, main star today, big honcho today was Iris Soto. Shout out to Iris Soto. And for all of you that send super chats throughout the week, thank you so much. Final verdict. Larceny. A125 is at a buy. You could skip it if you want to. You could skip it, but you could probably try to buy it. It's still good. I just want to tell you to buy a backup on my father cigar is at a buy. For any of you that are new, don't buy this. For any of you that are enthusiasts, buy this. It's good. For all of you watching, you guys are amazing. And don't forget to get this Jefferson's. You guys are awesome. We're going to end the stream right here. And for all of you watching, yes. Tomorrow, what am I going to do? Oof. I think I'm going to do Patel. I'm going to do a emerald, a super hard to find Stogie tomorrow. Probably going to do that tomorrow. And for all of you watching, today I'm going to be watching the Washington Capitals. Today is officially May 6th. My favorite, one of my favorite days of the month. For all of you watching, Bitcoin to the moon, and also XRP to the moon. For all of you watching, one more dip, XRP, and that's it. It should go to the moon. You guys are amazing. And Reaper officially signing out. See you all soon. Hit